Welcome back to a very exciting Omaha this week. We're very excited.
Woo!
Minus Colette.
Wait, are you saying we're excited because Colette isn't here?
You guys read into that what you... No, I'm just kidding. You guys do have more space on the couch, though.
It is a little.
That
little
is
bit
nice.
cozier.
I feel like I can, chillax a little bit more.
Yeah.
It feels nice. But I do, Colette, we do miss you. Colette's on a little vacay right now, so.
And I didn't want to find somebody to fill in for her because I didn't want her to get paranoid that whatever. So we're just going to... We're going to carry the
She's
burden
in our
from
thoughts and prayers.
She is in our thoughts. She always kind of is in our thoughts and prayers. Okay, so for Omaha this week, we've got going to be talking about sunflowers. There's a new market downtown. You go behind the scenes at some farm stands. I know you're like the farm stand
farm
first.
behind the farm stands.
Behind the farm stands. And then also we're going to dig into Ooh De Lally, which is more than a restaurant in Dundee. There's a huge story behind that. So we're going to be talking about that. So let's get going. And then also we're going to be trying a new segment called Rapid Fire. If we can't get some things in the beginning parts of the show, at the end we're just going to hit bullet points, some things that people need to keep on their radar for this weekend. So let's start with something for the families that they can put on their calendars for this Saturday. Joel, what do you got?
Yes, so CRCC, which stands for Connected Roots Care Center, they are having their Big Dreams Festival and 5K. This is at Stinson Park in Exarban Village this Saturday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. And a little story behind what Connected Roots Care Center is and why they're having this festival. So they are a center celebrating 75 years this year in Omaha. They are a nonprofit that provides education, therapy, nursing, mental health services, family advocacy, support, all in one location. So they've been a big part of our community, like I said, for 35 years. And this is their 5th year doing their Big Dreams Festival and 5K. And what it is, there is some big headliners that I know a lot of kids are probably excited for. We've got Peppa the Pig and her brother George. Huge, yeah.
Iconic.
And then Cuckoo. If you've never heard of the Cuckoo guys, like me, it's unfortunate.
It would be weird, Dan, if you'd heard of it.
If I were a big fan, this would
Yeah.
probably be creepy. You
Yeah.
won't see me on Saturday fanboying out to Cuckoo.
But Colette knows who they are, and she did fill us in a little bit about the Cuckoo guys. So they're a group. They do some fun music videos for kids, and it's one of those like dance and sing along things. So it sounds like it's going to be really fun for families. So yeah, I mean, they've got, along with that, they've got a fun kids zone, some food trucks, local vendors, acts, and like I said, that 5K. But if you don't, want to get your exercise running, you can always get your exercise dancing to some Cuckoo songs. So
Yeah.
And just that whole Exarban Stinson Park neighborhood is so cool. Like, I already love the vibe there that they're going to be bringing this event. It's going to be a great time.
they're always throwing something cool in that park, and it is a great centrally located spot where, like, no matter in Omaha where you are, it's almost like you can get there in 15 minutes easy, whether you're in West Omaha or all the way downtown.
And you've got something else that is probably going to be taking over everybody's Instagram feeds over the weekend.
Oh,
sunflowers.
Yes. Well, that's huge. So I think they were actually supposed to start at Nelson Produce Farm, their Sunflower Festival, earlier this week. But sunflowers, just like any other plant, sometimes if they don't get enough rain, they need a little bit more time to grow. So that festival is officially starting this Saturday, and it will go for 3 weeks until September 7th. And it's actually the largest sunflower festival in Nebraska, which I'm not going to lie, I don't really know if there are any others, but like Nelson Produce.
If you're the only, you are the largest.
Exactly.
That is
And Nelson Produce, like, that farm is the place to go. They have so many beautiful different festivals and events with, they have the Strawberry Festival and
Tulips.
Tulip
Another
Festival.
One. I think they have a watermelon one.
Yeah.
Maybe?
Yeah, they do all these great events, and it really is just another fun things for families or friends to go out to. A great photo op opportunity. I do say so myself. I have never taken photos out there, but I love sunflowers.
Do you love a sunflower?
They're my grandma's favorite flower, so kind of hits home for me. And they also like grow super easily. Actually, like they don't really need a lot of rain.
Yeah.
So they just kind of bloom up.
Well, I want to talk about something, too, down at 8th and Farnham. Dirt's finally moving on the public market. When you guys hear public market, do you know anything about this public market, what it's going to end up being? And when you hear public market, what do you think of?
Well, I was just in Seattle a couple months ago, and they've got one of the most well-known public markets in America. It's called Pike's Place Market, and it's like 4 levels of restaurants and shops and just all kinds of crazy things to do. I mean, it's like it's got like those fish stands where there's just a bunch of ice and like fish is out there, and
Is that the
guys,
one where they throw the fish?
yeah, guys
Okay,
are just
okay.
like tossing fish around, and there's live music. I mean, basically, it's like a farmer's market, but some of it is inside, and it's open every single day, all throughout the year, which is really cool. So I'm trying to temper my expectations because I know what we get in Omaha, especially right off the bat, is not going to be that. But that's kind of what I envision, is a combination of an indoor and an outdoor market that is open, if not year-round, close to year-round, and provides just all kinds of great options where you get an opportunity to really experience all the great makers and food creators that we have here in Omaha.
And it's not going to be small. I mean, it's 3 stories overlooking Heartland of America Park. I think it's going to be really cool.
Well, when you think of the farmers market, even there's farmers markets all throughout Omaha, and they're super popular in the summer.
And then, okay, let's go back to the farm stand girl. You've covered a lot of them, and
I have.
a lot of people don't think that those stands have to get their produce from somewhere. And you went to the farm that actually supplies a lot of these stands.
Yeah. So we've been featuring a couple different produce stands this summer, and the family who runs both Jillian's produce stand off 156th and Fort and Ashley's produce in Papillion, they reached out and asked us to come out and show the rest of Omaha where their produce comes from. So the Heldt family has a farm out in Utan, and actually if you're in Lincoln too, they have another farm stand in Lincoln called Deb's Produce Stands. So 3 different stands across the Nebraska, Omaha, Lincoln metro. This farm in Utan, it was really cool to see because they grow everything from watermelons, corn, squash, zucchini, pumpkins, cherry tomatoes, other types of tomatoes, like anything you could think of that you see at their produce stand, they grow. And it was just so cool to see. His name's Justin Heldt, who him and his dad really run the farm side of things. And he sent me away with a cantaloupe. And let me tell you, like eating a cantaloupe straight from the farm, it was delicious.
How amazing is
it was
that?
so fresh. It smelled so good, and it tasted so good. And I'm usually not like the biggest cantaloupe fan either, but like I love a cantaloupe when it's ripe and perfect. And oddly enough, this one was
ripe
like
and
absolutely perfect. So,
what did you have any preconceived ideas of what to expect, and what surprised you after you saw it?
yeah, and it was really cool too. They asked me that same question when I was out there. So obviously, when you think of a farm, you think of all the acres of land. And I mean, typically what we see in Nebraska is corn. I mean, a lot of people see the corn growing everywhere. But what was really cool is to learn how they deal with different types of weather, whether it's drought or flooding or other things. They actually have a watering system where even if there is a drought, they can still grow their watermelons just fine. They can still grow their tomatoes just fine. So he kind of showed me, we dug through the dirt on some of the rows of tomatoes, and he showed me like the watering system and the pipes through there.
Pretty sophisticated?
Yeah, it's very sophisticated. And they said they just continue to learn, every day, every week, like what's working, what's not. And farming is just a really cool thing that I didn't grow up with, so it was really interesting to see it with my own eyes.
Huge farms like that just boggle my mind. Like, I can't contain our garden with our 5 plants. Like, our cucumber has completely taken over and like strangled out everything else. And I'm like, I can't handle this. And you've got farms like this with like dozens, hundreds of acres, maybe even, and all these different types of plants. I mean, the planning, the ingenuity that goes into that, it's really amazing.
And the good thing is it's their 5 generations of their family has been working on this farm. And so, they started in the 1980s, and it's just been staying in the family year after year. Their kids keep wanting to be a part of it and keep it growing. So
It's kind of cool knowing the story behind the produce that we are
it
consuming
is.
in these
And
places.
people like having produce that they know where it comes from too. Like that's a big thing. That's why those produce stands and this market are so popular and are probably going to be so popular, because people like to know where their food comes from.
Nebraska Public Media is our state signal for curious minds, for inquisitive listeners, for anyone wanting to understand what's going on in Nebraska and beyond. It's your signal to tune in, turn up, and hear Nebraska stories told by the people who live them. And now, that signal reaches Omaha on 101.9 FM. Nebraska Public Media Omaha. This is your signal.
Okay, so the downtown market is coming down the road. Millwork Commons had the Millwork Market this past weekend, their first one. You went. What did you think?
Yeah, so Millwork Commons inside their Ashton building, I had no idea what to expect coming into this. This is the first time they've ever done it, but they just said, hey, we want to have a bunch of local makers out. Obviously, there's a couple restaurants in there. Sweet Magnolias, which is a bakery with a couple locations. They've got a location there. It's their 10th birthday, so I went in there and I was like, I don't know what this is going to be like. And there were hundreds of people packed into this space, and it was just so perfect because you've got Archetype Coffee, they've got the coffee shop, and so all these makers are like surrounding it. So there's clothes and earrings, and there's a guy selling soap and like homemade soap, and all these different like stationary lights, all these different things. It was just really, really cool. They had a long table set up where like kids could do art activities and they could draw and everything. And Sweet Magnolias was giving out free cake slices to the first, I don't even remember what it was, like 100 people or so that showed up and bought something. It just felt like such a good community event. And I got to talk to the organizer of the event, and she was just like blown away. She was so happy. She's like, I didn't know if people were going to come to this or not, but I want to do more of these. So her goal is to have 2 of them every year. I would just say make sure you're following Millwork Commons on social media, because if they announce another one of these, I know for sure I'll be going.
Yeah.
And that area is really growing too. Like, I know they were struggling a little bit at first when Millwork Commons was just developing, but you know, with markets like that, it's really cool to see like people are starting to notice it in all the amazing restaurants and bakeries and just little shops in that area, because it is a really cool area if you haven't been down there.
It is. Now, transitioning a little bit, we've talked about Ooh De Lally before, but from like a restaurant standpoint, the food, but there's a really cool story behind it. And let's talk about the story behind Ooh De Lally, not just the food.
Yeah, so we've talked about this a little bit before, but I really got to experience it firsthand last week when I went into the kitchen. I got to talk to a couple of the participants in the program there. So, quick overview, Ooh De Lally, it's a restaurant in the Dundee neighborhood. I think it's 3 years old now.
Still pretty new.
Yes, still pretty new. Fantastic food, and I'll talk about the food. Don't worry about that. But what makes this place special is they partner with Metro Community College's 180 Reentry Assistance Program. I think I'm getting that right. 180 RAP is what they call it. But basically, they work with them to help formerly incarcerated individuals get the support, the job training, the housing that they need to come back into society. I think we don't really experience this or know how hard it is. Once you get that felon label put on you, people don't want to give you an apartment. They don't want to give you a car rental. They don't want to give you a job. Like, it is really hard to re-enter society. And we've all made mistakes, some bigger than others, but like some people just made a really big mistake and they learn their lesson. They try and come back, and it's kind of like the world has shut them out. Ooh De Lally is offering that opportunity. They say anybody can come into this kitchen, whether you have cooked before or not, or worked front of house or not, and you can learn that here. And I've known the mission. I've talked to the chefs and everything. I'm like, oh, this is such a cool thing. But to get to talk to these guys, one of the guys in the kitchen told me, if it weren't for Ooh De Lally, I would either be dead, I would be strung out right now, or I would be like causing a huge problem for my family. Wow. And the other guy said this was the first time he was earning like a legitimate paycheck, not drug related, for the first time in 5 years. I mean, when you hear those people,
it's pretty powerful.
Yeah, talk about how their lives have literally been changed by this job. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
What does success look like for those guys? Like, is it going on and working in the culinary industry? Is it staying at Ooh De Lally for a long time? I mean, because that felon label sometimes sticks with you for the rest of your life. So they get trained up at Ooh De Lally and get this good foundation beneath them. But then where do they go from there?
That's kind of up to them. I know the first graduate of the program, his name is LaRue Marcos. He is a wonderful individual. He actually is one of the front of house operators at Ooh De Lally now. We're going to be launching a podcast with him pretty soon. So it's kind of up to the participants once they get done what they want to do. Some of them do stick around Ooh De Lally. Some of them move on to other jobs. At least once you complete Metro 180 RAP's program, that gives employers a little bit more sense of stability that, hey, this isn't somebody who I don't know anything about, but I see that they've gone through this reputable program, they've gotten training, and maybe it doesn't completely remove that felon label. Like, there's still going to be a little bit of a stigma probably, but it gives the participants a better chance.
Okay, so we're getting to kind of the end of the episode. We're going to try something new with rapid fire, where some things we couldn't get to at the beginning of the episode. So Jill, we'll start with you, and we'll just bounce back and forth. What are some things that people need to put on their calendar?
Okay, so this summer, the Jean Leahy Mall has been celebrating Hump Day. You can go with your family 11 to 1, take a picture with a camel. It's free and fun for the whole family to enjoy.
Dan?
Dundee Days, this Saturday, August 22nd. Dundee's a very proud neighborhood. There's a lot of cool stuff going on there, and this event has a beer garden. It's got live music. There are food trucks. There's a 5K, pancake breakfast. I mean, basically, it's just all day. There's cool stuff happening in Dundee. So get down to Dundee and check it out.
And if you're new to Omaha, Dundee's a really cool neighborhood just to hang out in and walk around in. And good weekend experience, Jill.
Absolutely. All right. Well, this Saturday, also at the Jean Leahy Mall at the Riverfront, they're starting their Friday Night Flicks. So they're playing Hopper down at the Jean Leahy Mall. It is from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And I think they'll be doing this a couple other Fridays this next couple of months. So head out there.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Next Thursday, August 27th at the Kiewit Luminarium, Yelp is putting on an event that Omaha's never really seen before, and we, Hurrdat ONE, are getting a chance to participate in it.
Fun.
So, I mean, if you've never been to the Luminarium, it's really awesome. Basically, it's like a not a children's museum, like a experiential museum,
museum,
a science
I
museum
think.
on steroids. Yeah, it is awesome. There's so many things to do there. Like, it's not a kid's thing at all. It's for all ages. But this event is going to have 15 or more food vendors in there making like small dishes of their food. So you can go around, you can try all of them, you can talk to the different chefs. There's going to be drinks available. I'm going to be doing a live podcast there where I'm going to be interviewing the chefs so you can kind of like hear their story and then go and try their food. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Register online because they are taking registration.
We'll put the link in our in the bio or in the description.
Perfect.
Jill, what do you got? Is that it?
I think that was my
Is
last
that
one.
it?
Yeah.
Okay. We've covered a lot.
I do have our question of the day if we want to go there.
That's okay. So Colette's not here. She normally has question of the day. So you're going to handle it this week?
I'll handle it this week. We're going back
Hit
in the
us.
food lane, if you can imagine that with me. But if you had to eat one food for the rest of your life, and don't take health into account, don't take I'll get sick of this into account, you'll never get sick of it, and calories don't matter, what would you eat?
Type of food? Like a...
Not like cuisine, but like a specific food.
So,
Okay.
so sushi is too broad.
No,
I feel like you could say sushi.
yeah.
Okay.
So if you just said like all Japanese food, then we would say
okay.
no,
Yeah.
drill down. But if you say just sushi,
Hands down sushi.
sushi, okay.
That's
Love
a
it.
good one.
Yeah, because there's so many different options, and it's... I don't think I've tried a piece of sushi any kind that I haven't liked.
I like that. Now give the listeners your little hack on getting the half rice.
Oh yeah, learned this from somebody that worked at Blue. That if you order a roll with half rice, you hardly notice the difference, texture, and the amount of food, but it's half the carbs, half the calories from
And
the
you,
rice.
and you can
Smart.
eat more sushi.
You can eat more
I'd
sushi.
never heard that before,
Yeah.
and when you told me that, I was like, wow.
And if there's a hack to eat more sushi, I want to make sure I have that hack. Yeah.
Man, that's tough because Trace and I, my fiance and I, get sushi every Sunday, so that is a good one. But I will have to say, I love a good cheeseburger, so I'm gonna have to go with that. Would be my food I would eat
When
forever.
we were at the Sarpy County Fair and we were going around doing the food stuff, before we even started, just like, I need a smash burger, and you crushed that thing.
Dude, those smash burgers, they looked so good, even though the photos were, I think, AI on the food truck, but they were delicious.
Yeah.
Like, those things were no joke.
They
so
look good.
Okay, follow-up question, and maybe you just answered it, but are you more a fan of like the thick classic burgers or smash burgers?
it just depends on where I'm going. Like, if I have to eat a burger every day, then I'm fine with doing smash burger one day, thicker burger the other. But if I had to pick one, it would be a smash burger. Just because it's like more, I feel like more meat and cheese.
You can
like,
do more. Like,
yeah.
the ratios are
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you.
And I don't know, I just love the flavor of like how it tastes in your mouth. Like it's just so good. I'm taking
starving
Colette's
now.
word.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Mine
about
would
you, Dan?
mine would be pizza. It's my
You're a
favorite
pizza
food,
guy.
and it's pretty versatile. Be a lot of bread over the rest of my life, but you
no
know
health
what?
consequences.
I can live with that. Yeah.
No health consequences.
I'm good with
at all.
it.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks, guys. Make sure you guys are following us on all of our Hurrdat ONE platforms. If there's something that we missed, please let us know. Or if there's something that we need to get on our radar, message us, DM us at Hurrdat ONE, all platforms. And make sure you rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast portion of this so people can find it. Thanks. Have a great week. Go out and have fun in Omaha.